So Bud Light has finally realized that they've been feeling the heat for long enough. Anheuser Busch CEO finally comes out and disavows Dylan Mulvaney publicly for the Bud Light partnership and says it was not a campaign after firms sent a letter to retailers blaming an outside ad agency for approving it without management awareness as sales crashed 26%. So like I said, Bud Light has realized that they made a huge mistake with Dylan Mulvaney. They've made a huge mistake with that whole ad campaign, with even trying to go woke even a little bit. I understand that they're trying to get a younger audience. Honestly, no, I don't understand it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't understand it, because you have a 21 plus product. You have to be at least 21 years old to drink Bud Light, to drink alcohol, at least in the United States. So it doesn't make any sense for me why you're targeting these 13-year-olds on TikTok that follow Dylan Mulvaney and these other, because in reality, most of the people who are trans, and we saw Patrick Bet-David literally do the math on this in real time. He did it on a podcast. He said there's 1.5 million people out there who identify as trans, and most of them are under the age of 18. So 3 years away from even being able to legally drink Bud Light. That's the people that they're targeting. It was so stupid. It was so stupid of them. And I knew that the CEO either didn't sign off on this or they really were just chasing ESG scores. But their sales are just going down so much. As you can see, this article right here, it says sales crashed 26%. That is an insane amount of money. That's insane. And I see a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people are still trying to cope out there and say that the Bud Light boycott isn't working. The Bud Light boycott is just a bunch of angry, conservatives or right wingers or whatever. And it's not actually working. It's just a lot of people talking about it on social media. And give me 26% of your income then. And then we'll see that 26%, we'll see if 26% is a lot or not after you give me 26% of your income. 26% is a huge number, man. And I saw some people out there saying that this was the most successful boycott of all time. I don't know if that's true or not. I do know that 26% is a huge number, and the Bud Light boycott definitely is working. And Bud Light is obviously feeling the heat because, as you can see in this article, the CEO has finally disavowed Dylan Mulvaney and the whole Dylan Mulvaney Bud Light partnership in general. But 26%, dude, regardless of how you spend it, that's a huge number. The bosses of Anheuser Busch claimed that the partnership with Mulvaney was not a formal campaign or advertisement. Their former chief creative officer branded the decision to work with the trans influencer as a calamitous mistake. So they haven't apologized yet. Personally, I don't care about the apology, but saying that it was a calamitous mistake, that's huge. That's pretty much an apology there. That's pretty much saying, yeah, we messed up. We messed up bad. And I don't think they're actually sorry for doing it. They're only sorry for the actual, the 26% loss in sales. That's what they're sorry for. That's why they're saying it's a calamitous mistake. Not because they platformed someone who is to the extreme detriment of society and is really, really indoctrinating the youth, but because they lost 26%. That's why it was such a big mistake. It comes as the company reported first quarter earnings of $1.65 billion, which topped Wall Street expectations. The CEO of Anheuser Busch has unceremoniously disowned the disastrous Dylan Mulvaney stunt, insisting it was not a campaign as a letter to retailers, says it was just one can. Global boss Michael Duker has addressed the mass backlash over working with trans influencer Mulvaney, 26, for the first time in an earnings call with investors on Thursday. Duker told investors that there is misinformation spreading on social media about the company's team up with Mulvaney, according to Fox Business. He added that the company is providing direct financial support to the frontline workers impacted by the boycott. So I've showed you those TikToks over and over again of those people, those sales reps that just can't sell anything. They can't feed their families. They're really worried about their jobs. And it's really sad to see because they have nothing to do with this situation. They had no idea that Bud Light was going to do something that stupid. They had no, they had no influence on this happening, on them hiring Dylan Mulvaney and supporting that weird stuff. And they had no influence on whether or not they were going to get boycott or not. And yet they're losing out on tons and tons of money. And now Bud Light, after a few weeks, maybe even a couple months at this point, Bud Light is finally coming out and talking about it. They're finally coming out and disavowing what they did with Dylan Mulvaney. In my opinion, it's not going to work. I'm not going to stop talking about this. I'm seeing a ton of tweets. Tim Pool said right here, just effing apologize. I don't think he's going to be satisfied, and others like him aren't going to be satisfied until Bud Light or Anheuser Busch come out and officially say, we are sorry for platforming Dylan Mulvaney. We won't do anything like that again. They will never do that. Like this person, Jim Hansen, says right here, they still fear the woke mob too much. Everybody does. All of these companies do, not only because will they get canceled from both sides at that point. If they come out and apologize, they will not only get canceled and get boycott from the right, but they will also get boycott from the left. And also, not to mention, all of their good ESG scores that they got will also go away. Any good favor that they got with that is also gone. So they're in a lose-lose situation right now. They must just try their best to cling on to the audience that they had previously, in my opinion, would be the best way to go with this. But I don't even know if that's going to work. It's not going to work for me. I'm not going to stop talking about this. I'm not going to stop advocating for us to continue this boycott until we can take it as far as we can possibly go. Because to me, This is not about Bud Light. This is not about Anheuser Busch. This is about deterring the other corporations out there who are similar, beer brands or non-beer brands, from doing similar things. That we need to deter them. We need to take this and use it to the best of our ability to deter other brands from doing similar things to this. Dukeris said we need to clarify the facts that this was one camp, one influencer, one post, and not a campaign. It was a campaign though. Like, just because it's one of them doesn't mean it wasn't a campaign. I understand that it didn't spread that much, they didn't promote it that much themselves, but who knows if they would have. Maybe they would have if there was a massive backlash to it. I'm sure that they would have. You know, why would you pay Dylan Mulvaney $100,000 or more to just have him post that one clip? Like, obviously you were planning on using that to spread your brand further and to try to get a new audience. We will continue to learn, meet the moment in time, all be stronger, and we work tirelessly to do what we do best, bring people together over a beer and creating a future of more cheers. You could tell that they were like hammered, that somebody hammered that into their head, because every single time one of these higher ups at Bud Light or Anheuser Busch come out and speak, they always say that same thing: bring people together over a beer. It's not bringing anybody together, man, except for, you know, people on our side, the people who are boycotting you. You're not bringing anybody together. We are all coming together to take you down. Investors were told by Dukeris that Bud Light will triple its marketing spend this summer in a bid to woo customers back to the tarnished brand. I don't think it's going to work, man. Unless they go really, really anti-woke with it, then you could win us back for sure. If you go really, really anti-woke with it, then I think it's possible. But if you just try to do that same old, like, patriotic, like really half-assed, weak, patriotic stuff of people raising the flag and Clydesdales running around and American handshakes and all this other BS that they were doing and that other ad, if you continue to do stuff like that, dude, it's just not going to work. It's not going to be enough, man. At least for me. Let me know in the comments how you're feeling about this. If they were to come out and apologize tomorrow and say that we really messed up with Dylan Mulvaney, would you stop your boycott? Would you stop consuming videos like this? Would you stop sharing them? By the way, I really do appreciate everybody who's been supporting these. I think it's a really important topic, and we need to continue the conversation, in my opinion, regardless of if they apologize or not. But let me know in the comments how you're feeling about that. The disastrous marketing bid has seen sales for the American flagship beer plummet 26%, despite Anheuser-Busch reporting first quarter earnings of $1.65 billion. That's insane, man. That I've never seen anything like this, at least in my lifetime. Like I said, there's a ton of people out there who are saying that this Bud Light boycott has been the most successful, and I still think we're going to see a lot more people get fired because of this. I think we're going to see a lot more changes within Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch as a whole, but a lot of people out there are saying that this is already the most successful boycott of all time. I'm not sure where those numbers are coming from. If you could let me know in the comments if that is true objectively or if that's just people talking. I'm not really sure. But either way, if it's not or if it is the best boycott or the most successful boycott of all time, it is pretty amazing to see this many people come together and actually make a change, man, and actually make a dent in one of these corporations. It just goes to show you that we can do it. You know, whenever we actually do care, whenever we actually do put our mind to something and we actually stay focused on it, we actually can do it, man. We can stop these corporations from doing this really stupid shit that they've been doing. And we should take this to other fields as well. Not just the beer field. We should take this to Hollywood. We should stop consuming the dumbass stuff that they're giving us in Hollywood and everywhere. Everywhere that we don't want them to continue in the direction that they're going in. Every time one of these corporations does something stupid, extremely woke, or just weird, we can do this every single time. But thank you guys once again for all the support on these videos. I really do appreciate it. If you could leave a like, I would appreciate that. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos just like this one, and I hope to see you on the next one.